Hello, this is Shan Chandrasekhar welcoming you to another delightful part of our programming. We have a very distinguished guest in the studio here with us today. She's made an outstanding contribution to Indian cinema at a very young age. She's an extremely popular and a pretty film star from the Bombay film industry. She's also extremely popular in the Punjabi film industry. Your favorite, Kulraj Randhawa.
Hey Sache Badshah.
कंगना तेरा नहीं सानू करे इशारे
Kulraj, what a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure meeting you, Dr. Chandrasekhar, and it's a privilege to be here today.
Well, it's wonderful to have you with us. Our hearty congratulations to you. Some of your box office hit films have made huge headlines around the world, internationally recognized, you're well known. And your film, Needhi Singh, this has become the talk of the town across North America. So congratulations and tell me about this venture.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is my Punjabi film. And this is the first of its kind which we have tried to make in Punjabi cinema because it talks about women empowerment. And it is a story which concentrates on a upliftment of the mindset of a general society, what we think, whether it's in Punjab or in our country or world over. The fact that we cannot take women for granted. They are being nice, or they are taking care of their families, or they are not physically as strong as men, should not be considered as their weakness. And the story is all about an inspirational story about this woman who faces a certain situation and crisis in her life, and how at one point of time she is challenged and how she stands up for it.
So tell me about this subject matter. What attracted you to this script when it was first presented to you?
For a fact that I have been very choosy about the characters or the roles or the films, or whether it's the television, whatever roles I wanted to play in my career. The fact that first is a contributory factor to the upliftment of an agenda which is supporting women inspired me. The second story, it's the story is inspired by a true life incident, and I said this is a very, very proud story to be a part of. And it's very challenging because the kind of range the script and the story has for an actor is brilliant. Because it starts with a very nice soft character and goes all the way to a very high drama and an action space. So I had never done this before. So I said this is a challenge as an actor, and when you find something difficult, I think it becomes more exciting to play something
That's
like
fantastic. Tell me about the team that worked with you on that, the other characters in the film and the director of the film.
The director of the film is Jimmy Shergill. He happens to hail from Haryana, and he was very keen because he's the one who got the story. And at the same time, being somebody new in the industry, he was very charged, and I think I love to work with people who have a certain energy and passion, irrespective of the fact that the experience was very new, but I said I need to support this whole cause and the energy, and it just kept rolling, and it became such a nice package, by the time we all worked together in the project. This is one time when we thought that it's not just about the star power in the film, but also concentrate on the theatre actors, who have, for a very long time, Punjab has been having a lot of theatre people, but for some reason, they've not got the right platform or the right kind of production value, in their careers. So this is what we thought, that we want people who are performers. So the cast is not very big, but at the same time we have performers like Nirmal Rishi, who's been like a legendary actor in theatre in Punjabi cinema. And we have Seema Kaushal, we have Dali Diljit, we have Ashish Dugalji. So there are a lot of actors who hail from the theatre who've done really good justice to the roles, what they're playing, and they're very so in the skin of the character that it's lovely. We also have a special appearance by a lady called Shubh Gumman, who is an inspiration to a lot of people, as she is, who's done really a lot of dance shows, because she has unfortunately only one leg, but I would say that she's won hearts across the country, the world, and she's made us so proud. So we love to have her, on our film and be an inspiration itself.
Let's rewind now. Well, here you are, bright young student, bubbly in a university in Bangalore. How did you end up in the film industry? But I know you have some theatrical background as well.
Well, when I was in college, I did my management graduation from Bangalore University. My father was posted over there. He's in the army and now he's retired. Right. So as a college student, you're not serious about what you want to do in life, and you want to do so many things at one point of time. Yeah. At one point of time, I wanted to become like an army officer, and then it changed to a fighter pilot, and then it went on to a lot of things. Meanwhile, I was writing, and I did a couple of writing for Times of India group and stuff like that in Bangalore. And that's when Arjun Sarja walked into, they were shooting one day, in close to the place where we were staying, and they had to take permission because of a certain area where they wanted to shoot. So he and Ramba were shooting one film, and I had no idea, who the gentleman was. So we hosted them, and he met me and he says, have you thought of acting? And I'm like, no one's talked about that word in my family for 7 generations, so I don't know what that means at that point of time. But he said no, and I really thought he's joking. And after a week, he calls up my dad and he comes back again. He said, and I'm really considering you to be a part of my next film. And I'm like, my father says, she's too young and, we're not experienced in this field. And he says, don't worry about that, and he actually flew me down to Chennai, and he did an entire screen test and makeup and hair and dancing and all the works. For me, as a kid, it was very exciting to do all of this, but of course I was very, very young. So then he came back to me and he said, I'm going to wait for a year or two before you get into a certain training format, as an actor. Post that, I started getting a lot of offers for films, and I said, okay, I might as well try it. And that's when I decided to go to Bombay and take a course there.
That's fantastic. Well, your first film was a Punjabi film. There was Mannat, if I remember.
Yes.
And then your first film in Hindi was Chintuji.
That's right.
So tell me about both of them. Okay, let's start off with Mannat first.
Mannat happened just after I finished 210 episodes of a show called Kareena Kareena.
You were the most popular, the heartthrob of millions of people in the country.
Yes, I was
dual role, right?
Dual role, and I was so new, to anything as that medium, no experience, and they just gave me a double role. And at that point of time, when I was signing the contract for the show, I had no idea how big the show was, or the kind of things the channel was planning for the show.
I distinctly remember in those days, people would actually run behind you and call you Kareena.
The best part was that I did not get time because it was so hectic, and the only point where I realized, how big the show was is when we were shooting one episode, which I flew down to Dubai to shoot with Shah Rukh Khan. We had this one special segment. We went there, and that's when, everyone's screaming backstage, and I'm saying, oh, where is Shah Rukh? Where is Shah Rukh? Maybe they're all screaming. Suddenly they say, oh, we want your autograph. I'm like, me? So it just struck me at that point of time that, oh my God, this is happening, and it's so. as evolution happened, things started becoming more serious in terms of the career. And by the time I finished, completed Kareena Kareena, yes, the world knew about,
That's a lot of episodes. 210 episodes is
210
substantial
episodes.
amount of time and commitment in terms of the schedules, the call sheets and the sets there. And
Absolutely, it was a lot of hard work, especially from someone who'd never worked before, and suddenly getting into this whole arena and being the show driver for the channel and a primetime show. And we were initially starting with 6 months contract, and then they said no. The channel said we got to go on with this because so it was extended to another 6 months, and then I got exhausted and I said, we got to wind up the show because it's literally. But it was so nice that the whole story and the appreciation I got world over.
Yeah, of course,
from people. It was yes, fantastic.
but it's an interesting phenomenon. I have to congratulate you on that because traditionally, what has happened in the past, when you look at it, there are some artists who have been featured on the television side who have become popular in the film industry, and it's been reversed the other way about as well. But there have been other occasions in which, unfortunately, some of them have not been that lucky. And in your case, you've consistently come out smelling like roses because basically whatever you touched turned into gold because you were very successful on the silver screen, you were also successful on television. Tell me about that phenomena and the transition in terms of the difference that you came across shooting for a television serial as compared to shooting for a motion picture.
I'm humbled for a fact that you've mentioned that I have been, successful in the projects I have been associated. I've been lucky, blessed that whatever projects I have been associated with have turned out to be really, really nice and successful. For a fact, it was a big challenge at those days when I finished television, and everyone said, that you just stick to television because you were at the topmost level in television and you will get what you want in TV. So, and I said, no, I said this, I've tried one medium and I need to go on, I need to move on and experience something new. So I said I want to do feature films, and everyone was like, this girl's lost it, It's so tough that people from television, at that point of time, the industry was a little closed circuit with films and television. So the television people were not so easily accepted in film industry, and, all those notions were there. And then I said, no, it's a challenge, I would love to. The worst thing would happen is that I would come back to TV, that's the worst that would happen. But I said, I need to try. I got to try now. So that's when I said I got to do films. And fortunately, by the time I finished the second month, I was offered the film Mannat, which was with Jimmy Shergill. And the director walked up to me, and producers, called me and said, would you want to do? And I was like, yes, because for a fact that A, it's my diaspora, it's my heritage, the Punjabi culture, and B, I want to try films and see it's with a great cast. Jimmy's, was great at that point of time. He just finished Mohabbatein, and I said it can't get better than that. And yes, that's how Mannat happened.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵਿਆਹ ਲਈ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤੀ?
Now let's talk about Chintuji.
Chintuji, again, when I finished my Punjabi film, and suddenly there was silence. When your career goes silent, so you want to come back, you can't come back because you've done some work, and then you want to go forward.
Yeah.
But then the forward is not happening. So there was this period of phase where I think everyone goes through that phase of challenge, struggle, patience, and it was that phase where I wanted to go back, and I said, no, it's not working out, so maybe it's not meant to be, and I've had like a successful stint, and maybe it's meant to be only till here. So I waited, I got some projects which was not very, lucrative, and then suddenly I get this call on a dinner table at 9 o'clock in the night. Are you free tomorrow? Yes. So there's this casting director who calls me up, and I'm like, yes, I am. So he says, and what are you doing for the next 40 days? I'm like, should I tell him I have no job, or should I just hold back and say, I'm busy? And so I was like, well, okay, go on, I can make some adjustments, but what is it all about? So he said, well, there is this film which is happening, and unfortunately, they had locked someone for the film, and that someone, is not available anymore. So, would you be able to, leave 6 o'clock on a flight for a 40-day sked, with a film with Rishi Kapoor? And I'm like, okay. And the back of my mind, the whole thing is going on. It's like, oh my God, I got to prepare. It's like a film in your first Hindi film, and with such a legendary actor, and everything was like, oh my God.
And his pet name is Chintu.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's how the film was named, Chintuji. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I supposed to go unprepared? And we were supposed to be shooting in one of the hilly regions in a remote area in Himachal. And everything's running at the back of my mind while I'm on the telephone, and I'm like, okay, but I am ready. I'm not going to say no. So this is it. And that's when, before I knew, I was at the set, and everyone was like, okay, we have an actor, and my first shot with Chintuji, and I was like, oh my God, he is, from the film Bobby. I grew up watching him, and he was really, really sweet. And he was, and by the time we finished the film, we grew so fond of each other, and it was really nice working in that.
अगर politics में जाना है, MP बनना है, तो थोड़ी बहुत परेशानियां तो उठानी होंगी. After all, this is your birthplace, sir.
It's wonderful, and I would like to tell you something about this film. In Raj Kapoor ji's film, there was this scene where Mera Naam Joker, in the film, there was this particular Russian actress who was a part of the film.
She acted with Raj Kapoor and Simi Grewal and Padmini together.
Yes.
Right.
So, and she was like a very big famous face from Mera Naam Joker, where Raj Kapoor ji falls in love with her, and unfortunately, they can't be together, and she got to move on. You know, it's great. And the director really thought that we should find her. And after all those years, they found her.
Wow.
And we have actually used her in the film in the same situation with Rishi Kapoor. And that was a moment where everyone was so thrilled to have her back on the sets after so many years.
Hello, Sana. I'm Rishi Kapoor. Welcome to India.
Thank you.
It was an awesome experience meeting.
Isn't that something? Well, we're talking about the history of Indian cinema, and here is Kulraj narrating a very interesting incident dealing with her and Rishi Kapoor, and talking about Rishi's father, Raj Kapoor, with respect to an earlier film, Mera Naam Joker, that he had made. Now, we've had the honor of interviewing Raj Kapoor, personally. Take a look at this.
As I have always said, and I'll say it again to you, for your viewers, that if you don't cheat the audience, they're very kind to you. Don't make a fool of them. Don't take them for granted. What do they know? No. They know it. They may not be as intelligent or critical as other audiences, but for what they have come there, they know that they want to be entertained. If you just satisfy them a little bit, make them happy, make them forget their daily problems that they face and confront in living in modern socio-economic system of governments and people and laws. He feels, and the bureaucracy and all goes into that one envelope, and he feels, for that brief moment, he's forgotten everything. That's entertainment to him.
Another big hit film of yours. My God, you hit the headlines with this film, with the huge box office hit film, Yamla Pagla Deewana, with the biggest star idol of India, Dharmendra, and of course his sons as well.
True.
So both Sunny Deol and Bobby Deol, and what a star cast. And you've had the privilege of working with them. Especially you had the honor of working with Dharmendra. Very few great artists can have that pride. And he, from what I understand, he was very fond of you. So tell me about your experience.
It's a very memorable film for me, and it always stay with me, for the longest of time I live, because it was such a fortunate time that, when I was told that we are ready to take you on for this project, and they have been iconic people for the whether it's the Punjabi film industry or the Indian film industry, and it's not that I got lucky with one deal, not with two, but all the three. So when I was like the first time when they told me, that it's with all the three, and
You're
I'm
a
like,
hat trick.
till then I was like, okay, I might be one of them, but I'm like, okay, so who are the other actresses, opposite of me? They're like, no, you're the only girl.
Wow.
And I'm like, really? So they're like, would you want to do it?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, of course, I would love to do it. And that's how we started the film, and it was great. Dharamji is an absolutely teddy bear. He's really great, and of course, a legend in his work, in his dialogue delivery, or so many films he's done. So when you stand with him, it's like you're standing with the library.
अबे धर्म, तू बहुत बड़ा कमीना है यार.
What was your most favorite scene in that film?
There were so many, but again, at one point of time when my first interaction with happened with Bobby, when we were starting the first scene of the film which we shot, and it was freezing cold. It was in February in Punjab, and that's the first time I met Bobby, and when you meet your co-actor for the first time, there's a certain hitch, there's a certain glitch, the first time, because you've not known the person. And when I met Bobby, I've seen him while I was in school, and I come from a boarding school, and we had gone, all my friends got together, and we wanted to, meet Bobby, who was shooting for another film in Simla. So we bunked our school and we went to meet and take an autograph, which I told him also later. So when you see that part of your life, and then when you come back and you say, oh, it's the same guy who's standing in front of you. So we started the shot, and after that, all he said was, "You have such cold hands." And I'm like, "What do you expect? It's freezing here. It's 0 degree, and we're shooting here right in the cold. What do you expect?" Yeah. It was a lovely moment at that point of time, and we started the film, and the energy, the way the whole film, was filmed and done, and all of them like a big family. Yeah, it was lovely.
I also had the pleasure of having one of the finest young playback singers from the Indian film industry, Shweta Pandit, who's the grandniece of Pandit Jasraj.
That's right.
And they're all, for us, when you talk of Indian cinema and connected to the Indian film industry, he was related to V. Shantaramji, who is one of the fathers of the Indian film industry.
Right.
And so, and Shweta sang a song. In fact, I made her sing that song because I loved that song so much.
Yes.
When I saw you in that film. So I made her sing that in our studio. I want you to listen to that, and then we want to show your clip there.
Chadha De Rang is a special song because I was singing my first Punjabi sort of song, because I never sung Punjabi words in a song before. And this was one song which kind of, I was so thrilled that I could say the Punjabi words correctly, and everyone kind of clapped when I did it.
Chadha de rang, chadha de rang.
You just talked about your experience with Dharamji.
Right.
We've had the honor of having Dharamji with us in the studio in the past, and he's actually talked about the experiences that he's had when he's acts with other heroines,
Right.
And he's full of fun and frolic.
Oh, yes.
Watch what he said.
I think every father is proud of his son, but I try to weigh him first, whether it is possible. All of a sudden I came to know that he wants to become an actor. It's every human being learns and learns and learns and learns. There is no end to that. And I think one should never feel that he's perfect. And I'm sure with the blessings of all of you, which I'm getting from you so much, he will also get. And he'll also come up. And I definitely need the blessings of you all for him, more than I now, because I'm almost... I won't go easily. I'll be hero as well, at least for coming few years.
Now, was he always mischievous on the set?
Well, we had so many other deols to do the mischievous part that I think he did not get his part of being mischievous. But I think the naughtiest on set was Bobby.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and Sunny was always the big brother.
Uh-huh.
So everyone was scared of him. So
Yeah.
everyone would, the minute he would like come in, everyone would like just scatter away. And, I was like, oh, Sunny Bhaiya, Sunny Bhaiya, Sunny Bhaiya. So everyone would just run away because, he demands that kind of a respect and that aura that don't mess. Right. Don't mess. But he's really sweet and he's really soft-spoken.
My perspective, there's been a lot of good, positive things that you have done. And, another successful venture that you did was with Tushar.
Yes.
With Tushar Kapoor. And you were delightful in that film. You had some fantastic, music pieces there.
Yes.
You excelled in your role there. So tell me about that experience. That's another great Hindi film,
Char Din Ki Chandni, which was a Hindi feature film, had a huge star cast. I was working with not just Tushar, but we had Om Puri in that. Yeah. We had Anupam Kher in that. We had Farida Jalal in that. We had Anita Raj in the film. We had Mukul Dev in the film. We had so many actors, and then there was like a whole bunch. It can't get better than that with Absolutely. So many experienced actors around. And yes, it was a great experience doing that shoot and doing the dance sequences in the heat of Rajasthan. Yeah. Yes, it was lovely, but gained a lot of experience, and there was a lot to learn from these actors.
In the history of Indian cinema, when you trace, Tushar's father was called Jumping Jack. But times changed, and Tushar became a romantic hero.
Yes.
And in that particular film, you were seen as a very romantic heroine.
Yes.
And you both had some very nice dialogues together in that film. I want you to watch that with me. It'll bring you pleasant memories, okay?
Sure.
Let's watch this.
ऐसे घूरोगे तो चश्मा लग जाएगा.
सूरज को घूरने से
Tera Mera Ki Rishta.
Yes.
That's the next Punjabi film that you did after Mannat.
That's right.
So tell me about that film.
Tera Mera Ki Rishta again happened to be with Jimmy. So because our chemistry worked pretty well in the Punjabi industry, and
right.
he got the title of the great romantic hero.
Right.
So and people really appreciated in what Mannat looked like and our chemistry in that film.
Yeah.
So they said we want to repeat the cast again. And that's when Tera Mera Ki Rishta happened. And again, I happened to have like a great star cast of Archana Puran Singh. And we had Anupam Kher in the film, and Jimmy and Raj Babbar in the film played my father. Mm-hmm. And that film was again magical because there was so much happening, a very colorful, bright, a big fat Punjabi wedding happening and a whole romance happening in the film. It was a formula which was like a win-win formula for a good, successful romantic Punjabi film.
There was another big hit of yours after that. That became a big box office, success. Was Double D Trouble.
That's right.
So tell us about that.
Double D Trouble again. I had the opportunity to work with Dharmendra again.
Yeah.
Because he told me that you got to work together in this film, and we had Gippy Garewal as playing the lead, and Poonam Dhillon, did her first Punjabi role with this film. Mm-hmm. So she was pretty excited, and we all had like a great bonding time because she, of course, shared the stories with Dharamji she's worked before, and of course Sunny she's worked before, and so there were these really nice stories which used to come up, of yesteryears together, and I think she made the film also very pleasant.
You had a beautiful song in that film in which you were featured. I've had the pleasure of having Rahat Fateh Ali Khan in the studio here with us. He sang. It was picturized on you, basically.
Tera mera saath ho, taaron ki baarat ho.
So tell me, what can people expect from this energetic, lovely, pretty Kulraj in the next few years?
There are a lot of challenges which come in every day, but every day is a new day. I have been doing films, selective roles, selective characters in the film, which are more effective. Yeah. The best feedback I've got from my audience is, we don't feel that you're acting on screen. Mm-hmm. So that's been a fuel for me. to keep going on.
That's wonderful.
And it's confidence that if my audience feel that I can connect with them.
That's the biggest compliment you can get from your audience.
That's what keeps me actually going. In spite of doing so many good, bubbly roles, and then after that doing this dramatic scene, there is a lot more, and I still feel like a newcomer. I feel that I have so much to do and experience as an actor.
You know, you're one of the most eloquent communicators that I've come across from the Indian film industry.
Thank you.
And it's a true credit to you. Tell me about the status of the industry. Has there been a considerable improvement in the film industry in terms of the living standards of performing artists, not at the big star level like you, but even for the others, upcoming artists? And are there enough security arrangements made for people who have been in the industry long enough, for them in their later years? Is there any security that has been planned properly by the film industry to look after the fraternity of the industry?
I think we have come a long way because at one point of time, the society which we were born and brought up in thought of film and television as only for glamorous people, or people who are very outgoing. For some reason we had that thought process, especially for actors or actresses, until or unless they were coming from a film family as a film background. But then now, because the world has opened up, the avenues have opened up in terms of the content which is being made is on a very large scale, whether it's the number of films or regional films or television. We have some 800 channels in India. So it's a vast opportunity for a lot of talented people to come on board. So because of this reason, there are associations which have started taking this whole issue seriously. But I still feel that unlike the West, where the actors have a certain royalty for different projects they do, and they do one big film or something which is like a memorable milestone in their career, that becomes their security or a retirement fund, if I must say. Unfortunately, we still are a little far behind in the Indian film industry, where we do not have that kind of a security. You contribute, you do 10 films or 200 or 400 films, down the line, we still have to fight for the rights.
If there's one director that you admire, that you have not worked with yet, but you would like to work with that director, who would that be?
There are so many I want to work with, but two of my top favorites are, one is Rajkumar Hirani, which I think I'm a big fan of his work and his body of features which he's done. And secondly, Imtiaz Ali. I think he did something really, really nice and portrays the characters pretty well on screen. So yes, looking forward to working with these two in the Indian film industry.
It's fantastic. With all your experience right now, would you ever consider someday if you were given a directorial opportunity?
Absolutely, because the kind of experience you gain while you do your work as an actor. I've been a keen learner of the technicality behind the cameras as well. Always been someone who's very enthusiastic to learn, a lot of things behind the camera. So yes, I would love to direct a film one day, and I'm sure I will get the opportunity soon, because that's what I aim to, because that's what I think I believe and breathe in, creativity and telling stories to people. Yes, that's whether as an actor I portray that character, or I would do it as a director and help talent to come up front,
You've had the opportunity traveling internationally, and you've seen film industry not only in India, but on a global scale.
Yes.
So tell me about your observation about the Canadian film scene and the future opportunities that you see here for our South Asian diaspora in this country in terms of filmmaking.
Well, I think, for a fact that because the diaspora has spread world over, and I'm very proud of the fact that wherever Indians have gone, have made great achievements, establishments, and that goes for you too. And you've done such a great job, establishing something outside your country. It's very easy to do it in the country, but to achieve something at this stature and of this standard in a foreign country is double the effort. And so I feel that we need to evolve with the fact that content of Indian film industry cannot be limited just on the Indian land. We have to take the opportunity to create content in different countries. Canada being such a fertile place to make films, and such a huge diaspora, Indian diaspora, where they love Indian films, why can't we make Indian films in Canada itself? And at the same time, we changed the whole scene, how the West would look at Indian film industry with films like Slumdog Millionaire or films like Lunchbox. Why can't we have talented people from the Indian diaspora making films, crossover films, targeting not just the Indian diaspora, but also the Western people, and to encourage more stories from India. India is a vast country with superb stories and great spirit and inspirational stories. So I do want to, make films associated with something where I would like to contribute in this field, in this part of the world, where we can join together and make a small Indian cinema right in the heart of Canada.
That is fantastic. May God bless you, and I want to wish you a thumping success with respect to your new release. And we'll keep hearing great things about you and your success in the industry for years to come.
Thank you so much, Doctor, to invite me today, and it's a great opportunity to be a part of the 100 years of cinema, which you've really dedicated so many great, content towards it and episodes. I'm honored.
So we'd love to have you back someday on the show. It's great having you on the show.